Then, in particularly for the last year or so with pandemic, then individual, collective karmas, lightnings that strike, now and then in life, to our health, to our relationships, to financial sustainabilities, and including our spiritual practice, sometimes really put us onto the cliff. Once a while happened that, put us right on the edge of the cliff. So this is the reality of being in the samsara. But then the another reality is all of us able to pull through it. So that's the amazing part. So that's the heroic. That's the heroic part. Heroic part of the journey of life. And this heroic aspect of the life is not like the movie heroic, not like a Hindi movie or Hollywood movies heroic kind of aspect. This heroic is very much a genuine and true, real heroic how to say, practice or heroic capability of individuals. Because of how much we have learned Dharma, how much realization we have, what kind of how high realization we may possess or not, but we do recall Dharma wisdom, at least try, and it has been helping, and the sign for that is we haven't given up. We haven't given up, and that is the proof. We haven't given up Guru. We haven't given up Dharma. We haven't given up compassion. We haven't given up, effort. Most importantly, trying out. Even we fall back. I'm giving myself as example. Fall back many steps, but then not totally falling back. At least one step again, move in front. And I would still regard that is a heroism. Real heroism, because why we do that? Because of keeping compassion the central attitude of our life, keeping Guru in the center of our heart. Because of that, see. So as long as keeping Guru and the Dharma, the essence of the Dharma, in our heart, and able to deal with any kind of samsaric ups and downs, and that is a genuine and true heroism. So I congratulate all of us here, first of all. So that's one thing. Okay, so So before I go to the topic, yeah, so I almost get distracted. Before I go to the topic, I just want to say, yeah, Venerable, we had a conversation, and I said that we don't have to go through this formality of doing a lot of prayers and doing mandala offering, etc., etc. I said I want to do very interactive kind of loose session. There was many of you that who've been following me. Then those of you have followed the teaching. Those of you who want to see me, I think the most important part is the teaching part. And almost for almost a year, we've been doing the Sunday Lojong teachings. And I think many of you are already there. And those teachings, I try to get into as extensive as possible, as detailed as possible. So therefore, I think instead of another round of, commentary on Massive Buddha's teaching, rather, maybe we do some clarifications if you have any questions, So we will have more time for question and answer after I say a few words on the topic. But before doing so, we don't want to waste this precious opportunity, even if it may be just for an hour or so. Your time is extremely precious. Our time is really, really precious, and the times are finishing, rushing rapidly. And at the same time, we know that we obtain this precious human rebirth, and thinking about the busyness, the things that we do, is almost like never going to finish, and we're able to pull through a little bit of time, to have a concentrated, Dharma conversation, and we want to make sure that, this very effort of yours to become most meaningful. So that's one of the important part. Meaningful for your own well-being, meaningful for rest of your family and friends' well-being, also meaningful for rest of the numberless sentient beings' well-being, and that also not only temporary well-being, but for ultimate benefit after full enlightenment. So in order to do that, so based on Buddha's teaching, the motivation make whatever I've just expressed make possible. So it's not a matter of how much time, it's not a matter of how big Dharma in the title, but it is the matter of the quality of intention, the motivation that we set. So if we are able to set altruistic motivation, great compassionate motivation to utilize this very session for the purpose of benefit of numberless sentient beings' enlightenment, then this very session is going to be most beneficial by reaching out the merits, the positive energy that we individually and collectively accumulate to all the numberless sentient beings, all the numberless sentient beings, without leaving up even one single creature, one single living being. Okay, so so for that, we take a few moments to set motivation. So before set altruistic motivation, it is beneficial for us to have a conviction in your heart, the presence of Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha, and all the divine beings and all the virtuous examples, like the spiritual virtuous gurus to whom inspire ourselves to cultivate virtues. So feel vivid presence of them. In the actual reality, Buddhas are ever present in every single existence meaning wherever we exist, Buddha do exist there, because Buddha means the omniscient. The omniscient means pervades, existing in entirety, past, present, future. So therefore, just to make the bridge to receive the impact to ourselves, then we do these visualizations and setting this the idea of the vivid existence, building the conviction in your heart makes the channeling of the benefit of the Buddhas to us more effective way. So for that reason, so not just kind of how to say, imagining something that which not in the actual fact there's no such thing, not like that. So when we visualize Buddha, it's different from visualizing some ordinary people or phenomena. So visualizing Buddha has a great benefits. So simply tell our understanding, our awareness that Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha, it is present among you, within you, oneness with you, like that. So if you want to point out who exactly that enlightened one, then can think of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, can think of Chenrezig, can think of Para, can think of Medicine Buddha, whichever that you are familiar with. And that Buddha, like an example, Shakyamuni Buddha, is the Guru. Shakyamuni Buddha also is the Dharma. Shakyamuni Buddha is also the Sangha. For some individuals, when you do such visualizations, may occur some kind of lights, may occur some kind of colors, or even in case dark shadow occurs, doesn't matter. Whatever images or thoughts that occur to your awareness, you just regard that is the Guru, that is the Buddha, that is the Dharma, that is the Sangha, and that is the one that what it means by present within you. Then simply understand what is so special about Buddha. The one from numberless qualities, one word can define that. Just even simply remembering the name, just simply seeing in visualizations has the capability to purify our negativities, capability to purify obstacles, purify whatever thing that we do not wish to experience, has the capability to bless us, consecrate our body, consecrate our mind, consecrate our speech, even the place that where you are in, due to this interdependent arise practice that you are actualizing through visualization, help to purify even the land and the space and all the environment that you interact with. So with understanding of that, then you just tell your heart, wow, how amazing, how wonderful. And especially those of you who has meditational trainings, then whenever you meditate Buddha, instantly arise joy in your heart, sense of brightness, light in your heart, in your awareness. Even the sensation from your senses have some kind of pleasant sensations. Then that, if you have that kind of experience, and try to express the transmission of the blessings are happening. If in case any of us here, due to any reason, whatever the reason may be, but then somehow, negative emotions arising in your thought instead of the positive side while you're meditating on Buddha, or physically, even you tend to start to feel uncomfortable. At that time, you should think that purification is happening. That Buddha bless you. The blessing is taking effect to clear obstacle, to purify your body and mind, purify inner outer secret obstacles. Then feel grateful, feel good about it. Now, whatever either experiences that you went through just a moment ago, regard that this is how Buddha enlightened ones skillfully bring benefit to samsaric being like us. And if you feel benefiting, then you should tell yourself how rejoicing it is, how inspiring it is. And particularly knowing the characteristic, even though you may not feel now, but when you learn about the characteristic of Buddhas, then during the time of training, they have benefited sentient beings. They have worked for the well-being of sentient beings. After they have achieved the state of full enlightenment, they're continuously working for the well-being of numberless sentient beings, including ourselves. So knowing that, then any quality to do with Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha, it is so inspiring. It is so heart-touching. Because all the activities are selfless. Only work for the well-being of numberless sentient beings without any discrimination, without any return. So knowing that, then you get inspired, and you want to be just like that. You want to achieve those qualities. Because of that reason, we're going to have a question answers, try to figure it out. What is the essence or meaning of life? try to figure it out, how to find meaning in time and places, in whatever experiences that comes in our way. Try to make meaningful, like how the past Buddhas to whom you just inspired, that they have trained similar way when they were similar like us before they become Buddha. And that's make them to actualize the Buddhahood. Similar way that I'm going to follow that path. For that reason, I'm going to have this session. Sangye chudan zoye chudan la janju badu dane gyazo jitake jizo kebe tsonam bito la penje sangye doba sangye chudan zoye chudan la janju badu dane gyazo jitake jizo kebe tsonam dola penje sangye doba yo sangye chudan zoye chudan la janju badu dane gyazo jitake jizo kebe tsonam dola penje sangye doba yo gamge tuze ne zo ne tawa tamje pamise tambe chune tenze kodam de la cha zan lo dong yin yin je sung lo ju be la ma ze je se je gang je den de chana pe mo tenzin gyazo la so wa de so da yu qin ye Simje damje dewa dan dewe gyu dan debra gyu je simje damje dunga dan dunga gyu dan trawa gyu je simje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi trawa gyu je simje damje nire che dan dan trawa dan yang dan debra gyu je simje damje dewa dan dewe gyu dan debra gyu je simje damje dunga dan dunga gyu dan trawa gyu je simje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi trawa gyu je simje damje nire che dan dan trawa dan yang dan debra gyu je simje damje dewa dan dewe gyu dan debra gyu je simje damje dunga dan dunga gyu dan trawa gyu je simje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi trawa gyu je simje damje nire che dan dan Tanyola nebara yuro. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the topic for today, the essence for the most meaningful life, and there's one another topic inserted. Finding joy in the most unexpected place or unexpected time, something like that. First of all, meaningful life. What makes one's life is meaningful. Anything that makes you feel fulfilling, entire your life that you feel fulfilling, then your whole life be meaningful. If this particular year been fulfilling, and the year become meaningful. If this particular day is fulfilling, then the day become meaningful. This particular moment is fulfilling, then the particular moment become meaningful. So now, what are the things that will make you feel fulfilling? So that we need to know, isn't it? So there are many ways. As a Dharma practitioner, what really make us, make our time fulfilling whenever we engage in virtues, whenever we engage in Dharma. Someone that from the very beginning, from the very first day, meeting Buddha Dharma, either with the conscious or by the force of past karma, by the force of past meritorious karma. The moment you're born, the moment you have some capability of the wisdom of discrimination, that you already know Dharma is the right thing to do. Dharma, I should be practicing Dharma. You have a sense of liking towards the Dharma, liking towards, virtues. So that is very much by force of past lifetimes, meritorious, Dharma imprint. Then, certain individual along the lifetime either through certain experience in the worldly life, then sense of understand what really worldly life is, and you kind of understand there's no fulfillment, there's no meaning, there's no fulfillment, especially like there's no fulfillment. There's no essence. Then you tend to have a sense of, renounce, towards, the worldly kind of life. Then you look for meaning in life. Then you meet, like Dharma, like Buddha Dharma. You meet Buddha Dharma. Then you follow the Buddha's path. Then you're able to sustain, to continue to follow the Buddha's path, through learning, through contemplation, through practices, through being in action of those Dharma practices, like compassion in actions, generosity in actions, like that. Then you start to feel it is worth, doing so. You feel fulfillment. You start to see fulfillment. When you experience fulfillment, you feel meaningful, isn't it? So there's two kind, isn't it? Two kind of individuals. Even those that who naturally have interest in Dharma, they have already went through the similar experience like what we are going through in this life. In the past life, they have experienced the samsaric, the worldly life, and gain some sense of renunciation and aspire for Dharma. And the impact of that, our continuum able to store those imprint and able to express within this lifetime, even in the very tender age, or even someone born in a total non-Buddhist culture, but then somehow, some way, happen to go and climb Mount Everest, but then your life settled in the Dharma. Your purpose is to climb Mount Everest, but then you end up taking refuge under Lama Zopa, or taking refuge under Lama Geshe, taking refuge under His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You see? You have no idea. You have no idea at all. Your purpose is Mount Everest. To be up there. That's it. Yeah, but then, so this is the impact of past lifetimes. The karmic cause similar to the result that we go through in this life. So now, then, like all of us, why still continue to practice? Because we feel fulfillment. That's why we continue to practice, because Dharma practice is not easy. Dharma practice is not easy. Saying is easy, but really engaging and living in the Dharma practice or taking our life in the path of Dharma is not easy. Not easy. It's far more harder than any of the worldly activities. Far more harder than any of the worldly activities. You know, I'm not discouraging you. I mean, in fact, you have to understand that I'm encouraging you because of I already said at the beginning, you are a hero. you are the genuine hero and heroines, you know, genuine Daga and Dakini like, you know. So if you don't have a store of abundance of merit, you will be thrown away the Buddha Dharma a long time ago. You have already said bye-bye to Buddha Dharma long time ago. Bye-bye to Guru, bye-bye to, you know, whatever, you know, long time ago, you know. Because Dharma is like a magnifying glass to see, you know, our own samsara and our samsaric environment much more clearer, you know. So the moment you start to practice Dharma, you start to realize that you're actually not that as good as what you thought. and the Dharma environment, you know, your Dharma brothers, sisters, and the monasteries and the centers, you know, not as that what you thought, you know. It's a Dharma at the beginning. Wow, it's like, you know, it's a Buddha, you know. Wow, everything is perfect, you know. Yeah, why I choose Dharma? Because it's in our worldly world not perfect. So going into Dharma, thought everything is all right, but actually it's worse. Actually, it may be worse. But in actual reality, it's not worse. Just because of you had one layer of magnifying glasses. Because of that, because of that, you see so obvious, you know. But then it is so wonderful when you're able to detect the point. When you're able to detect, you know, the negativities, the falls of the negativities, falls of the karma, falls of the samsara, then since Dharma is the antidote, then you can able to, you know, you can able to avert it. You can able to purify them. You can able to, you know, negate them. You can able to apply the correct antidote of the Dharma. You know, otherwise it's like very normal, like, you know, very how to say, very numb. You know, there's not much feeling like that. You know, and sometimes we may realize that those people who don't practice Dharma are better than those who practice Dharma. You know. Sometimes we say those who don't met Dharma, I think they are much more calmer, they are much more, you know, pacified. But in the actual reality, as long as you met the Dharma, it's still, you know, you are far more, you know, surpassed in your path. You see, the reason why sometimes, you know, people come in Dharma become even more wild, because we know ourselves, you know. Before, when we met Dharma, there's a certain stage we are happy-go-lucky. Isn't it? Yeah. After we met the Dharma, well, a lot of struggle, you know, a lot of fighting in our emotion, and become life quite inconvenient, because you need to take count of karma, and also take count of Dharma, take count of Guru, keeping karma, Guru, everybody, all the commitment in the head. At the same time, need to challenge. At the same time, need to deal with the real life, especially for Sangha, very difficult, much more difficult. Is it? So we find, you know, even more confusing, even more difficult, you know. But in actual reality, no, you are much more better off, much more better off. The only thing why we have to go through that, because the true energy is clashing. Two energies, boom, boom, boom. Two energy, the Dharma positive energy and our old habit, the samsaric energy, is like kind of like friction. You know, at least have friction, which is already good. You know, you see. So we have to, yeah. So we have to know this. The reason I'm saying that is you know, because when we blindly, you know, commentary on the Dharma or recite the Dharma prayer, everything sounds good, you know. Wow, 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 wow. Everything is like perfect, you know, pure and visualize. Just now we did, you know, visualize, you know, Buddha's realm. You know, Buddha is everywhere. Buddha is never separated from you. But if Buddha is not separated from you, Buddha is oneness with you, then how come I get into trouble? How come I'm getting into trouble? Isn't it? You see? So in short, what I'm saying is, life with the Dharma still far more meaningful, far more fulfilling. The more the Dharma you practice, the more the precept you hold, the more that you follow the Guru's advice, more that you stick with the Dharma's, you know, Dharma principle, is in whatever situation, comparing with the worldly samsaric way, it's far more better off. So I'm just saying for reassurance for that, you know. When I talk about worldly is not talking about lay life. Worldly means worldly. Our lay life, we can say ordinary life, you know, ordinary normal life. You know, nothing wrong with that. You know, ordinary lay life, you can become great practitioner. You can become most compassionate person. You can become Bodhisattva. You can become Buddha. You see, but worldly life, oh no. Worldly life means living in the service of delusion. That is called worldly life. As a living being, as a human being, and live for the service of delusion. Oh, that is worldly life. Live for the service of delusion. You know, we become attendant to attachment. We become attendant. We become the helper to attachment, aversion, ignorance, jealousy, pride. That is called worldly life. You know, like you know, be in the service of 8 worldly concern. Be in the service of 8 worldly concern. And if we live like that, it's completely meaningless life. You know, and even though essentially for temporary you feel like fulfilling, as if, because the delusion like ego, you know, when you serve the delusion like ego through fulfilling the desire, you feel like good. But then if you investigate carefully, that goodness is actually a suffering. And that falls in the suffering of change, you see. And even how much goodness that we pursue, you know, goodness by its nature, but goodness not by its infusion of the Dharma motivation like Bodhichitta, emptiness, renunciation, etc. Let's say, you know, without the altruism, or just simply being in the state of not harming anybody at all, like the rock. You know, rock sitting in the cave doesn't harm anybody, isn't it? Rock sitting in the cave doesn't harm anybody. Unless you go and pick and throw to somebody, otherwise the rock, you know, will just stay there, you know, you see? So there's no meaning for that rock, you know, you see? But since it still live in the state of not harming other, by its nature, it doesn't qualify to be non-virtue. So that particular rock, just living in the cave, does not qualify to be non-virtue or non-virtue. And when the rock, you know, move like that, that is action, but doesn't commit negative karma. You see, so so even like ourselves as a human being, you know, we engage so many activities that by nature it is virtue, but that virtue still the cause of samsara, you know, samsaric pleasure, samsaric, you know, success, like success in big businesses, you know, to for good health, etc. But but that virtue infused by the motivation of dharma, like renunciation, like bodhicitta, love, compassion, etc., then that similar act now become cause of liberation, become cause of enlightenment. So now I lost what I'm saying. I lost my point. So anyway, so now we are talking about the fulfillment. Okay, fulfillment. So, so as a Dharma practitioner, when we practice Dharma, so that's where the fulfillment comes from. When we feel fulfillment, we feel life is meaningful. So now, the essence, what do you call the essence for the most meaningful life, the essence. Okay, the essence is the highest virtue. If we are able to cultivate highest virtue, that which is altruistic virtue, and I would regard that is the essence of the most meaningful life. Essence of the most meaningful life. So anything that we do, do with the altruism, basically dedicate our life in altruistic benefit. Practicing Dharma, of course, engaging in the study of Dharma, meditation in Dharma, etc., or living in the vows, taking precepts, taking initiation, etc., and everything, dedicate, in altruism, and that is the essence of the most meaningful life. Even in the lay life, taking care of family member, taking care of children, doing job to earn for living, everything infused by bodhicitta, infused by altruistic intention. And that way, and even the job life, even taking care of even serving the family, every single our ordinary activities will become this most meaningful essence of our fulfillment, our meaning of life, you see. So, so how to do that? An example, when you cook for your family, to make that cooking action the most meaningful essence of our life, to bring the greatest fulfillment in your life, then for the benefit of for the good health, for the pleasing of the taste, and securing the precious human rebirth of rest of my family members, and rest of my family members, I'm going to cook this delicious dinner, and may whatever virtue that I accumulate from there, I dedicate for the benefit of a temporary happiness and the ultimate happiness of enlightenment, starting from my family member and to the rest of the numberless sentient beings. So in that way, our cooking, your chore of cooking dinner become most meaningful, and that is the essence, the most powerful virtue, most beneficial. So therefore, it will bring greatest fulfillment in our heart, and we will feel most meaningful of that particular day, like that particular action. In a similar way, in ordinary life, we need to go for a job and do the same thing, basically whatever way of life you choose, everything infused by altruism. And I would regard that this is the most meaningful, practice, or it is the the essence, you know, the what you call the essence of the most meaningful life. So I would say like that. And I'm saying this based on the Mahayanic Sutra. In the Mahayanic Sutra, like such as the teaching that taught in Paramita Sutras, then like in the mind training teaching, like 7-point thought transformation, the 5 power is the most you know, the 5 power which is regarded the essence of the Dharma, you know, essence of the Dharma, you know, 5 power, the essence of the Dharma for living, 5 power, the essence of the Dharma for someone that who is passing away from this life, you know, at the time of death, you know. The essence of this 5 power is the Bodhichitta, the altruistic practice, you see. So basically anything you do, you motivate with Bodhichitta. Anything that when you conclude, any activity you conclude, whether it's ordinary or whether it's spiritual practice, you conclude with altruism, you see. And try to develop that altruism in every manner, you see. So in short, just remember one thing. Everything, every activities of our body, speech, and mind to be guided by altruism. See, like such as the act of our body and speech usually follow our intention. So whatever action that we wish to perform through our body and speech, you know, remember to perform through Bodhichitta motivation. Or in another word, perform keeping the well-being of numberless sentient beings, happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. As far as concerned with our attitude, you know, sometimes the attitude naturally arises before even we think, before even we have the chance to get motivated, but still, we still have the chance to, you know, transform that whatever attitude arising into an altruistic attitude. If you are unable to do that, well, the attitude is in action, but at least the dedication at the end of that attitude, then dedicate that, you know, for the well-being of numberless sentient beings, you know, all the way up to the enlightenment, like that. Even anger arises, even negative emotion arises. If we are able to transform that anger into the altruistic attitude, then, you know, most meaningful, which is so hard. But at least when the anger is subside, when anger is over, then, you know, immediately you apply the 4 opponent power to purify them. You know, 4 opponent power to purify them. Think of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as like a first opponent power. Then, you know, acknowledge that, or the anger is so harmful, you know, is so negative. Then, as for the antidote, use Bodhichitta. You know, you can use emptiness and try to use altruistic wisdom, the emptiness meditation, emptiness understanding of that negativities, infused by the altruistic, you know, altruistic the attitude, you know, Bodhichitta attitude. You know, otherwise just simply meditate on Bodhichitta. You know. That I recognize, you know, in the presence of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I recognize the faults of my anger. I recognize my faults of anger. Now, for the benefit of, you know, now that there are numberless sentient beings, that who arises anger and suffer so much, accumulate so much negativities. You know, just within the small number of human beings, you know, even within the neighborhood, how many people arise anger, and how heavy karma that the anger can create. You know, I myself got the experience that just arising anger moments ago, it is so harmful, it is so hurtful. So therefore, I do not wish to let any other sentient being suffer, through the cause of anger. So therefore, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, for temporary happiness, up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment, once for all, that I purify, I eradicate, eradicate the entirety existence of the anger and its causes with the blessing of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. You see, so now, even in the cause of arising anger, now you are able to take this as a most meaningful practice, as an altruistic practice. Then at the end, when you engage in the fourth opponent power, now even cause of my life, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness, enlightenment, that I will protect my mind arising from anger. You see, so any bad thing comes in our way, we take the opportunity to purify them by using altruism, the altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude, either or both, as an antidote. You see, so then when any good thing happens, even just in a hot weather, suddenly there's a cold breeze, comes in your way, the sensation, say how fortunate, the blessing of Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha, the blessing of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, may this comfort of from the breeze able to prevail to rest of the numberless sentient beings, rest of the numberless sentient beings. In particularly those who are tormented by heavy karma, like in a hot hell. Can you imagine myself? Even little heat, I feel so suffering. And even just a one moment of a little breeze, so good. So therefore, can you imagine those numberless hell beings in a hot hell? May whatever merit that I accumulate from the past, and whatever merit that I'm accumulating in the present, and whatever merit that I will accumulate through this practice of dedication of my, the comfort of breeze to the sentient being, and all the merit that accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas, for the well-being of, starting from those hot hell being, and to rest of the numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness, enlightenment. So this is an example. So you can relate to all the other goodness that comes in our way. You see. So if we're able to do that, how meaningful it is, isn't it? How meaningful, how comforting, how fulfilling, you see. So if we live every single moment in that kind of attitude, in that kind of manner, if we run our life like that, and under this kind of pace, then even the death approach next moment, you have no regret. Even death approach next moment, you are ready. You are absolutely ready. You see, absolutely ready. From the karmic point of view, you are definitely ready. You see, there's no need to fear that we're going to fall into lower realm. You see, and from the karmic point of view, that you will gain a full confidence because you are cultivated altruism the moment before you died. So without any doubt that going to, continue to travel through the path. You see, so brings so much meaning, so much comfort. You see, you see, and all these are very much play of our thinking. So mind is the power. You see, whether our action going to be virtue or non-virtue, dharma or non-dharma, even dharma, the supreme dharma or just ordinary dharma, is all depend on our intention. It's all depend on our intention. So you see, so therefore, based on the topic that the essence the essence for the most meaningful life. The essence is bodhicitta, altruism. The essence is altruism. So then that also covers the next topic is finding joy in the most unexpected place, unexpected time. You see, in our life, it's every day there's a surprises, isn't it? every day there's surprises, emotional surprises, environmental surprises, surprises from family members, surprise from so-called as enemies, surprises from so-called as a loved one, surprises from so-called as a stranger, surprises from the weather, you know, and surprises from the virtuous mind, surprises from this very, tragic, delusional mind. Sometimes without any reason, anger arises. This is a surprise. This is a big surprise. Without no reason, attachment arises. No reason, ego, pride, ego-centeredness arises. Big surprise. You see? No reason. It's everything okay. Everything. The roof is not taken off. The roof is still there. And the ground is still not shaken. It's still. And you also got the wall, 4 walls. And you got at least quite a number of apple or banana in your fridge also. And you still, your body still have one piece thing to cover. It's much better than Milarepa, but still get depressed. You say, oh goodness. As if the roof is taken away by the wind. Like depressed, As if suddenly, bulldozer came and knocked your wall. So suffering. As if there's not even one banana left in the fridge. No money in the pocket. It's like, or as if the entire walls, suffering is like just ripen upon you, like only you are the only one who's suffering. No one else is suffering, And sometimes we depress like that, Big surprises comes in our way. Big surprises. But then on the other side, you don't even have to be among numberless sentient beings physically, but then your heart is like connected with each and every single numberless sentient beings. Filled with the friends, filled with, everybody is like you tend to feel like wish fulfilling jewels, also dearest one. Big surprises, isn't it? Sometimes just walking, suddenly that end trigger you to have a, huge expression of compassion. Huge surprise, isn't it? Huge surprise in an unexpected place, in an unexpected time. like it happened, isn't it? While you're working in the garden, one small butterfly moving. It's a Today, the flower not open yet. Tomorrow morning, you just happen to roam in the garden, one flower open. Big surprises. It just lighten your day. Big surprises. Basically, every single moment, is in surprises. Okay, now, the point is, in those surprises, how to bring joy, or how to sustain the joy, or how to develop the joy, or how to be in the joy. And again, if we practice altruism, even in the worst time, even in the suffering that we can enjoy, we can feel joyful, even in the suffering. Even in the problem that we feel joyful. You see, like the Buddhist advice, when they see obstacles in their life, they don't suffer. No, they don't get discouraged. You see, they rather feel motivated, rather become power for them to even be more dedicated to benefit others, to overcome the sufferings. You see, if the sufferings comes in our way, good practitioners, He said, this is the best time that I can able to purify those karma that which already, completed to bring production of the result. If I don't purify, well, I have this intelligence and the Dharma wisdom. Since karma has the power to increase, endless increasing, even the slightest karma that increases until that the karma will become fruitful to born in the lowest hell realm, where we need to remain there eons of lifetime. How fortunate, how fortunate. Now that karma, ripen. Well, I still have capability to apply the antidote. Again, the antidote of altruism. You see, wow, I'm so lucky, so fortunate. So these great practitioners, whenever suffering comes in their way, they thank their guru, they thank the Buddha, so kind, that blessing me and saving me being born in the hell, that I can purify this heavy karma in such a short time, in such a short time, and in a bearable suffering. If this karma I'm unable to purify, if I born in the lower realm, the suffering of lower realm is unbearable. Suffering in the lower realm, the duration is lengthy. You see, so because of that, not just comforting yourself, just since you are suffering, try to comfort yourself with all sort of, thinkings, it's not like that. It has a definite logical reason there, how the action and cause and effect works. When you look through that, then it really makes sense. It really makes sense. You see, my late guru, when he went through a big operation, he went through the experience of like how the cancer patients go through, went through a big operation, etc. And not only one day, throughout the time, is about 1 year and more. Every single time that when with anybody he communicate, he thanked the Buddhas, he thanked the gurus, that he can go through this. There's one word that he always used, that I have been praying that may all other suffering ripen upon me. So many, like almost whole lifetime, it's just merely word. Now the real thing. Now I really mean it. Now I can really feel confident in this practice, because now I really mean it. So how wonderful to have that experience, that kind of intensity in the practice of altruism. Then he goes into bliss. You can see even from the expression. Physically, you can see look like so suffering, weak. Every single day you can see, getting weaker and weaker. But you can see in his eyes, and you can see through entirety the package is like getting more and more blissful, getting more and more satisfaction, fulfillment, feel more and more meaningful, life more and more meaningful like that. So this is a real example. You see. Then like Kyabja Lama Soba Rinpoche, Rinpoche got diabetes, Rinpoche got the blood pressure, Rinpoche, now he's experiencing this this physical for many years. From his life example, you can see, you can see the glow in him. You can see the laughter in him, genuinely from depth of his heart, And can imagine, like Rinpoche has to handle, hundreds and thousands of students. I give you one example. I also do sometimes consultation. Even nowadays, sometimes message comes. It's very hard to handle, even 1 or 2 students. Very, very hard, very difficult. No, sometimes you feel helpless because really you can see the people are suffering. You want to help, but you don't know what to do. So the helpless feeling in the heart is very hurtful, very heavy. And during that period, you ask me to laugh, it's hard. Can you imagine Rinpoche has to hear that every single day, hundreds and hundreds. Then, I have nothing. Still there's kind of like bit of burden of like some responsibilities. Like Rinpoche, 160 over centers, hundreds and hundreds of projects, isn't it? Hundreds and hundreds of projects, and thousands of projects. You see? Can you imagine? And not easy to. I told you before. Dharma world is not easy one, and someone to lead the Dharma world is even harder. Let's say the Dharma center, running a Dharma center and running a Coca-Cola company. Running Coca-Cola company is far more easier than running Dharma center. Far more, because running Coca-Cola company is you don't have to think about karma, you don't have to think about Bodhichitta, you don't have to think about all this thing. You can just straightforward, money gain, win, like that. For Dharma center, you cannot run like that. You have to think of karma, you have to think of guru, you have to think of sentient being. You have to think compassionately to the troublemakers. You have to think compassionately to not the troublemakers, everybody. It's so difficult. You see? But then Bodhisattvas, they came to existence for that, to be part of that, to be part of that, to solve. So, be engaged in that. How to say?
Okay.
Be the cure, be the help.
The 5 o'clock teaching that you were supposed to be listening to.
Yeah.
Did you download that?
So anyway, so you see, so why like Captain Lama Rinpoche, with his physical health condition and age, is already very old, but then with full of laughter, and full of energy, and not even one person not giving up, even how troublemaker it is. It's because of the fulfillment that he experienced, and that fulfillment because of the altruism. You see, because of the altruism, because of his altruism, if he be part to overcome the suffering problem, and even he has to go through challenges, he still feels privileged. He still enjoys. You see, this is how Bodhisattva does. You see, like that. You see, so I'm just giving example. Like I used to give example, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. If we let, I cannot say on behalf of you, but like about myself. Sometimes you come a point in the life that you feel very miserable. You feel like so suffering. Maybe not long time, but maybe around right before before I become monk, I had that feeling. I felt that I'm the only one who is suffering in the whole universe. No one is suffering like me. I'm the only one. I felt that. I can still remember now. I see. But now, when you think of like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, how much difficulty that he went through since little age, he lost the freedom. He is separated from his parents. Have to live with a stranger. Then after that, he had to handle all the troubles. During the most difficult time. Then after that, he lost his country. Then after that, even he's in the free world, but every single day, he hear, like the Tibetans, it's like his own child, more than his own child. Every day you hear the bad news of it. Someone is like killed, someone is in prison, etc., etc., etc. But still he sustained with smile, strength, inner peace. Where is this coming from? Altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude is the one that, make him, any suffering, any adversity that cannot be affected him. Rather, he becomes even more powerful, more beneficial, more serviceable. You see. So I think this is a great example. Not just how to say, just in the word, but there's a living example. These great practitioners, and they are living examples. So if we follow their footsteps and try our best, I think many of you have tried your best, and you already have experience that we try to deal any situation, good or bad, with bodhicitta and with emptiness mind. It's really, really, really helpful, isn't it? In a small way. Even that small experience is so amazing. It's much more effective and much more amazing than any method that we have in this material world. I'm sure many of you have experienced that, isn't it? I have no big experience, but little thing, is feel beneficial. You see? So like that. So, so I think I still come to a point that as long as we live with bodhicitta, then in any surprises, everything becomes so meaningful. When we relate to any situation, when we relate to anybody, even when we relate to our enemies, our strangers, not just the loved one, but in the eyes of bodhicitta, every actions of others is so beneficial to you, so fulfilling. You see, even the harm giver when harms you, you take the opportunity to generate compassion and dedicate your merit to liberate that harm giver. How amazing is that? When someone helps you, you get the opportunity to rejoice and dedicate the merit to, like a top up of merit for him to get liberated and him to actualize all the goodness even faster. So how meaningful it is, you see. So, so whether you live among people, whether you live alone, whether you are in a conventionally in a very bad shape, to do with finance, to do with health, to do with anything, or you are in a conventionally in the peak, billionaire, best health, young, strong, whatever. When bodhicitta is your guide, bodhicitta is your guide of your life, all is meaningful. So every aspect, is meaningful. You see, with bodhicitta, our sangha life becomes most meaningful. With bodhicitta, as a lay person, most meaningful. With bodhicitta, if you are single, most meaningful. If bodhicitta, if you are a partner, most meaningful. So you see, so in bodhicitta, you don't have to feel lonely if you have no partner, no friends. In bodhicitta, if you have partner, you don't have to feel like irritating, like, every day, I need to see your face. Every day I need to hear your complaint. Every day I need to, In bodhicitta, you don't have to worry about that. In bodhicitta, everything is pleasant. Pleasant in the sense everything is meaningful. As a partner that you demand, you need too much. This is the whole reason I'm here for you. Not only now, all the way up to Buddhahood. My being your partner is to help you to go all the way up to the Buddhahood. So how can I be offended because of you making too much? Is it? In Bodhichitta, where you have children, wow, 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 wow. You know, so wonderful, you know. In Bodhichitta, if you don't have children, it's so wonderful, you know, so wonderful. In Bodhichitta, you have problem, it's so wonderful. In Bodhichitta, you have no problem, so wonderful. So that's one cure. And this is proven by Shakyamuni Buddha himself. This is proven by even those who are born in the most privileged world, you know, like Atisha, you know, you know, it's a prince, you know, because of Bodhicitta, you know, there's no sense of loss of his kingdom. You know, like Buddha, because of his altruism, he have no sense of loss of his kingdom. You see, when he was in the kingdom, you know, conventionally to teach us this, what it means by the meaningless in the material world, he showed that part. But in the actual sense, you see, he understands how to utilize the meaning. So even he have nothing, you know, after he becomes Sangha, you know, he still, you know, is one of the life that which we take as an example as one of the most meaningful life, because he able to actualize the Buddhahood, isn't it? So like that. So I think for the topic, maybe something like this. So Bodhicitta, okay? Bodhicitta. So just to sum up in 2 words that we can carry to remember. For the benefit of, as I mentioned before, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, that has to be, you know, the numberless sentient beings. We cannot live out even one single sentient being. You know, motivating, dedicating, and being for, you know, dedicating one's life and one's life being for the benefit, temporary benefit, up to the ultimate benefit, enlightenment of numberless sentient beings. And any experiences that you apprehend without any grasping, and that is the altruistic wisdom. You see, without any grasping. You see, self, do the benefit of all sentient beings selflessly. There's no, self-centered ambitions, and that you can interpret into, you know, how profound, how extensive that we know on the emptiness teaching. Then accordingly, you know, we can take those into cultivation. You know, if we are able to in all action, if we are able to equip with the wisdom of lack of inherent existence, like how Nagarjuna Lama Tsongkhapa would practice, then that's the best. If not, at least dedicate the life in your best and wholeheartedly, only for the well-being of numberless sentient beings, like that. So I think something like this. Okay, so I stop here. And for Chadong Gentle Center, you're going to have, starting from today, I think there's a lot of meaningful programs are coming up. So I rejoice. And in the past years, at least 1 year, you know, very hard for people to come together. But I think if the COVID situation is under control, and particularly in Australia, I think it's very fortunate that we are in quite a very good position from the COVID. So I think there are people that who may need really, direct, interaction with among the people, especially, as people who live a bit further away, as a social animal, we especially, especially to the beginners, we need to come together physically once a while, whenever you get opportunity. Not necessarily have to do kind of serious Dharma study or meditations, but just even have a cup of tea together. The Dharma brothers, sisters, when we come together, surely we'll talk about Dharma. So that is already good enough. We won't hardly gossip, wrong thing. So just come together and have a nice cup of tea, or just get together. I think especially for some individuals, I think it's very, very necessary. So if there's such opportunity, then that's I think center going to open, isn't it, for every Sunday, something like that. So I think it's a very good opportunity to come together. So even though all the teachings has been online for almost a year, but once the COVID is under control, then especially already existing center premises, then even the Dharma teachers, is important to be physically to be there. So like that. So from my side, when things are everybody is okay, and I very much hoping to see you in person wherever you are. Okay, so thank you very much. So any questions?
So thank you so much, Geshe. I think thank you so much, and also, of course, really really confirming our wish for you to visit as possible, as soon as possible, to be with us again physically. We're very much looking forward to that. But tonight, I thought if anybody does have questions, there's none left in the chat so far, but if you want to put your hand up, you can do, and we can unmute and you can ask.
Yeah.
Actually, Trent won the raffle of being the first to register for your teachings, Geshe. So he's got the opportunity to be the first person to ask questions tonight. So maybe Trent can unmute.
Okay, yeah. So only if you have, okay, not to pressure.
Yeah.
So only if you have any question, and any question, you just ask anything.
Okay.
We just have some conversation now.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chen.
Oh, my question really just related to how to deal with a nagging wife, and you've answered that, Geshe, so I don't have a question. I just wanted to say,
how to deal with a nagging wife?
Yeah, you've answered it already.
Oh, yes, I did answer. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for your ongoing Lojong teaching every Sunday. It's been fantastic. I've greatly appreciated that. So
thank you very much.
That's all I have to say. Sorry, I don't have a question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You'll be the Bodhisattva. If he's talking about you or someone else, no need to be you. No need to be if anybody's wife is nagging so much, you be the Bodhisattva who always peacefully lend your ear and let her continue to talk. And you can think of compassionate Buddha's mantra. If it's a bit wrathful one scolding you, then Yamentaka's mantra. If something that really like how to say, teasing your mind to think more, then it's like Manjushri's mantra. Then because of you are a bit lazy, then the wife is nagging, then Thara mantra, making you be more active. So you can relate to all the Buddhas like that. In fact, in the tantric practice, there's a such practice. You see, the whatever sound that comes, from people or from nature, that listen as a mantra, and whatever like unpleasant sound, and especially scoldings comes, say, regard them as a powerful deity's mantra to dispel, the hindrances. In tantric practice, literally taught that, so we can apply all those. Yeah, not only from the wife, also the wife also. There are some husband always nag the wife also. Not only the wife nag the husband. Then some children always nag the parent, and sometimes the parent always nag the children like that. So among the friends. So this is not only for concern for one particular thing. And also, some of you, just based on the topic, you like to share, maybe in your thinking, in your understanding, this is the most meaningful way to live a life. If you like to share, you can also share, so many people can be benefited.
So, question, Geshe.
Sure.
Based on the qualities of the guru yesterday, after a bit of reading through, how does a student, which is like not as not qualified at all, compared to the guru, to assess the guru to be suitable? Especially it says the guru must be realize emptiness. They won't know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, in the Maitreya's Mayana Sutra, lay out 10 qualities of the Mayana Sutra. One of them is to realize emptiness. But then if you study further, then also commentary that it's so difficult, in such time, degenerated time, even though there's numberless Buddhas out there, numberless realized gurus out there, but also because of the interdependent karmic condition that what we carry, it's so difficult to find a guru with all the quality, equipped with all the qualities. So then, first of all, it's so difficult to find a guru equipped with all the 10 qualities. If not, then maybe 7 qualities or 5 qualities. Then it concludes by saying that if the guru who is morally disciplined, which is one of the most important quality for sure, then someone has to be, more knowledgeable than you, the field that you want to learn, which is the Dharma, and if someone like you, who inspire, the Dharma from the Sutric field, also Dharma from the Tantric field, and on top of that, you also wish to, eventually aspire to take, Vinaya precepts, individual liberation precepts. Then the guru has to have the quality of someone who observes Vinaya vows, like Vinaya Sangha vows. Otherwise, if you don't hold the vow, you cannot give the vow. You have no quality to give there's no transmission to pass down to the disciple. So someone has to be holding Vinaya precepts. Then, if you want, let's say, since you aspire to learn the Mayanic Sutrayana practices, then the essence of the Mayanic Sutrayana practice is the Bodhisattva practice. And Bodhisattva, in order to develop Bodhisattva practices, you need to take the Bodhisattva vows, aspiration Bodhisattva, engaging Bodhisattva vow, and the master who grant that, the master has to have the practice, the vow, observe without transgression. Otherwise, you cannot pass. You have nothing to pass down to the disciple. The transmission of blessing of the vow only can able to affect the student's spiritual continuum when the master hold that vow purely. Then if you aspire to tantric practice, and someone need to have the initiation transmissions, then the initiation is just one sign only, in order to have the qualities of initiation guru, you need to have the unbroken lineage of initiation. You need to complete all the commitment retreats. Then in the commitment retreat, there are so many preliminary practices, actual retreat yoga practices, then the conclusion, practices. All this need to get perfectly done by the guru. Then only, you'll be able to receive the initiation blessing. So when we talk about that someone need to be qualified, in the field that what you want, you're not interested in the Mayani Sutra, you're not interested in Tantra, you're just interested to observe Vinaya, individual liberation vow, then someone that who has the individual liberation precept is good enough. You see, so that's what I mean, that it has to be qualified. Then third one is has to be compassionate. Compassionate. You see, as I mentioned, the number one, the earlier one, one of the pillar or one of the foundations of Buddhist teaching, which is non-violence, means refraining from causing harm. What cause harm? Non-virtues. Where non-virtues, where engage in non-virtue, when you don't have discipline, when you don't have moral discipline. So therefore, in order to observe the one of the principle of the Dharma, which is the non-violence, you need to observe precept. You need to observe vow. So the teacher who observe more the vow, more the precept, good. You see. So at least observing the vow of morality of abstaining from causing harm to others. Morality of abstaining from causing harm to others. There are three types of morality. Morality of abstaining from causing harm to others. Second one is morality of gathering virtues. If the guru doesn't gather virtues, then how to inspire you, isn't it? So you need to have a moral discipline to not to waste your time, always accumulate virtues. Then the third one is morality of, now this one, third one is especially for the Mayani guru. The morality of always having the heart to benefit sentient beings. Not just thinking about yourself, always working for the well-being of sentient beings, you see. So these three morality. And that include within the Buddhist path of non-violence. Now the third one is second principle, foundation or pillar of Buddha Dharma is compassion. You see, so teacher is not compassionate, no way can able to bring benefit to others. So you need to have compassion. So compassion meaning always wanting to elevate, someone from the suffering. Why you learn Dharma? Because you want to be free from the suffering, isn't it? Free from pervasive suffering, samsara, free from suffering of change, free from suffering of pain. So now the guru's position is, always, finding way, skillful means, which is the 84,000 dharma, like how Shakyamuni Buddha did, to pass down to the disciple. And you would do that only when you have compassion, because the Dharma is the medicine, So to give the medicine, if you don't have a sense of concern of, want to elevate, your disciple from suffering, you keep the medicine for yourself, isn't it? You won't give the medicine, isn't it? So like that, is it? So the teacher has to be very generous, generous, If you don't have compassion, you won't be generous. So generous in Dharma, generous, when someone is sincerely asking for Dharma, you have to give. When someone is ripened their karma in Dharma, you have to give. Even how hardship you go through, you have to give. So sometimes Dharma teacher actually is a, that's why, you know, even we want to put the guru on top of our crown and regard it like the supreme, worth it, because when you talk from the responsibility point of view, not easy to be guru first. Even to be Dharma teacher also not easy. You know, you want to take the like the work of Dharma teacher. If you are not sure, it's like, you know that in front there's a fire hole, you know, fire pit, and you want to challenge by blindfold and go towards that. So if any Dharma that you preach, if there's no definite, in accordance with the Dharma, what Buddha have taught, then, you know, you may bring immense obstacle to someone's spiritual journey, you know, like teach wrong path, isn't it? Like that. So anyway, compassion. So compassion. Yeah, so I think as long as you see this quality, moral discipline, knowledgeable, compassionate, I think 3, isn't it? So that's quite easy to observe. So that's why you cannot, that's why I recommend it, not to make a decision to establish guru-disciple relationship immediately. One of the best platforms for you to figure it out, the qualities of guru, the correct guru, is for you to listen their teaching, you know, as a tutor, as a lecturer, you know, as a Dharma teacher, normal Dharma teacher. So you attend those teachings and you listen to those teachings. So, year by year. So eventually you will know whether the teacher lives close to what they preach. So that's quite easy to know, isn't it?
Can you stop and eat, please? You know? At the time. It's nearly bedtime. Stop.
So something like that.
Hear me?
And also, when you accept someone as your guru, it's about your own decision, your own commitment. It's not about the guru need to know that, you know, that I become your disciple. So it's very much because there are many people think that guru-disciple relationship, guru also need to know, guru need to be informed. It's not necessary. If you have opportunity, you can, but otherwise not necessary. It's more about your heart. So when your heart is ready with the qualification to regard someone as a guru, because then even the guru conventionally may not have the qualification, but you get the benefit. That's why the one of the tantric, I don't know exactly the text, is one of the tantric treatise. I think the tantric treatise, initiation of Vajapani. I think that it says that you have to view Guru as like how you view the Buddha. And when you're able to view that, when you're able to relate that way, you receive the Buddha's blessing. That's one thing. Now, Atisha when Atisha went to Tibet in around the initial stage, like Geshe Tomdamba, they all asked Atisha, how come there's a lot of practitioners, but not many people gaining realization? Then Atisha replied, you people here regard Guru as ordinary person, how to gain realization? Okay. You know, there are many gurus who is realized one, but the disciple, they don't have the qualification from their side.
Another pasta.
Because of that, they see limitation in the guru and they don't receive.
You gave a lot.
So now from
already.
these two stories, these two things that you can understand.
Pasta sauce with mine. More pasta with mine. Oh, baby.
And also, Venerable Lindy, you can you have to end the session, okay? I'm okay. Whenever you think is good, better to end, because some other people may have things to do. So whenever you want to end, I'm most happy. You want to carry on another 1 hour, I'm also most happy.
Thank you, Geshe. I just wonder if there's a few more questions. I'm sorry for all this interference. I think one participant has got 2 sessions open with their microphone on. So 1 minute, I'm just trying to get rid of that, but it was
okay.
I think that's okay. I think that we were listening to Helen getting her dinner for the family. So sorry for that. But anyway, I think, does anybody want to have any more questions? I think, Jill, you might have had a question. Did you want to ask a question yet? Yeah, please.
I was, I had been wondering if I try to live in the altruistic way, will that be enough for any negative karma imprint I already arrive with? Can I just take that simple way and try to live altruistic way of life and try to follow precepts? Is that good enough?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. That's most powerful. That's more powerful. You know, altruistic it's a altruistic wisdom or altruistic attitude. Yeah, is the most powerful antidote. Most powerful antidote to purify any, even the heinous crimes. You know? And also within a short period of time that accumulate the greatest merit. And the merits are also an antidote to the faults and to the negativities that we want to purify. You know? You say with the altruistic intention of just wanting to clear away, you know, someone's headache, the merit that one accumulate. It says that like Shantideva, Nagarjuna, you know, they says they understood that it's more powerful than filling entire universe with the gem, you know, wish fulfilling gem, diamond, sapphire, and offer to the numberless Buddhas of the 10 direction. That one thought, wanting to clear away someone's headache, has a more powerful impact for purification as well as accumulation merit. Then the same text and same master says that now no question, if you have the attitude of wanting to clear away this entirety of the suffering of numberless sentient beings, then no question how powerful you're going to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. So anybody else would like to have questions? Don't be shy. You can just unmute and ask.
They can ask without showing the face also, can.
Yes, you don't have to show your face. Anything you like. Okay. Oh, it's very quiet. I have one question from Matthew. He also gave his apologies for this evening. He's working, but he asked also, he was going to ask you in a nutshell, in a brief way, can you give some instructions for a single-pointed meditation session?
Yeah. Okay. So just single-pointed, just to tame our mind from you know, very destructive thoughts, destructive emotions. You know, at least the gross one. Then is nothing. How to say? More of neutralizing your mind, you know, through the technique of single-pointed meditation. Then using breathing as object of your meditation, then counting the breathing, focusing, placing your mind on the rhythm of breathing. That's recommended in Lamrim. Recommended in Lamrim. First, you train for 21 times. Then after that, 21, or I don't know exactly the number. Then after that, train for about half an hour. Then train about 1 hour, 3 hours. Then that will help us to calm our mind and gather our mind to the focus, and take away from the use of our mind with the destructive, many other destructive forces. You see, so basically, whatever meditation posture that you want to do, it doesn't matter. But most important thing is just simply being aware of the natural going and coming of the breathing. If you start to count the number, they recommend to count the number, but count the number is just simply giving the length of the time. It's not once you start to count the number, your focus is also distracted by the number, counting the number. So you are not full focus on the rhythm of breathing. You see, so you can set 5 minutes. Then just try to stay focused. Place your mind, the whole focus on the breathing. So this is, I think, it is also recommended even someone who's doing shamatha, having trouble at the preliminary stage, and asked to take this as a taming our distracted mind. But then, if your mind is already not as wild and too distracted, then good to use some virtuous object. Can be like mantras, or can be like a subject like compassion, or can be like Buddha's image. Then from the object, by placing our attention to those objects, naturally, tends to accumulate merit. But then you still prefer to use the breathing, and which I mean, as the initial practitioner is recommended the breathing. Then, in order to take that period of time into virtues, then you conduct the session setting altruistic motivation. Then your session is going to be meaningful, and not necessarily the meditation object has to be a virtuous object. Yeah, so that's one thing. Then, if you are quite capable, then so beneficial to use emptiness as the object of your concentration, and like that.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you. Okay.
So if nobody, we can do short dedication, then we can conclude. Yeah. So we take the opportunity to dedicate as most beneficial way as possible. So without any doubt, individually, we perform our very best virtues in our life, and even this very session, because of by nature it is virtue. Then through the intention also, it become a Dharma virtue. Then the merit that we accumulate from the past, and merit that we're going to accumulate in the future, and all the merit accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the kind and compassionate beings. May this collective merit be complete cause for all the numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering, and it is causes the delusion and karma, and abide them in the state of starting from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of full enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause in this southern world, this particular, there are so many disturbances, like elemental disturbances and different types of sicknesses. But in this very time, the pandemic, that which bring a lot of difficulty to the humanity. So may our merit be the cause to overcome this pandemic as soon as possible, actualize the cure, and the cure be most effective. And everyone, when it goes back to normality of life, the life being transformed into more virtuous, altruistic life. At least start from ourselves. At least start from our individual self. When we go back to normal, when we start to meet more people, when we start to move around in the planet, wherever we go, may our body, speech, and mind become like wish-fulfilling jewel for the happiness of the others and a contribution to the world planet. Yeah. So then, may this collective merit be complete cause for all the good people, the people who are cause of peace and happiness of sentient being in the world, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like Geshe Supreme Chen, and all your spiritual other gurus, and all the other good people in this universe and other universe, and yourself, and your friends and your family members. Always enjoy good health, always enjoy meaningful life, and fulfill all your the mundane wishes up to the aspirations of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the leaders, like the world leaders, the leaders of the organizations, the leaders of any community, leaders of the family, and yourself, who leads your life. Be free from the distractions of hallucinations, distractions and disturbance of delusions, like anger, ego, ego-centeredness, jealousy, etc., aversion. Be free from that and fill our heart and our awareness with full of love, full of compassion, full of forgiveness, full of tolerance, patience, generosity, kindness, empathy, etc. So that anyone who is under your leadership can able to, enjoy the meaning of life with so much peace and happiness. May this collective merit be a complete cause. Anyone who pass away, whether it's animals, like in the road, like wallabies, like that, and while mopping, your kitchen, like ants and bacteria, while you're doing gardening, there's so many bacteria across their lives. During the natural disaster, like a fire, so many animal dies. Then, especially those who pass away within last 49 days, may our merit be the cause for them to be free from the suffering of hallucination at the time of death, suffering of hallucination in the intermediate state, and the suffering of rebirth, and actualize in the higher rebirth, where they meet perfect altruistic mind and guru, and actualize full enlightenment within that very lifetime. Then may this collective merit be a complete cause. We dedicate for anyone who requesting your help, like prayer supports. Many names are given, like for me to pray. Many names given to our gurus to pray, and yourself also may have received requesting help prayers. and also to those that whom you know that they need, meritorious prayer support. Someone who is in suffering, health, business, relationship, emotions, or while you're on the working, or while on the road, you saw like, sick animals, anyone. We dedicate our merit for them to pacify any suffering that they're going through and actualize all their wishes, comes accordingly, virtually. We dedicate this collective merit for all the virtuous institutions like the three great monasteries like Serati, Bukanden, Tantric colleges, and all the other Dharma institutions, and all the FPMD centers. Then, especially here we are this organized from Chatong Chendong, we have a special karmic connection to that, and Chatong Chendong Center in Tasmania. Free from all the inner outer secret obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma perfectly, both in learning and practices. And every single deeds that initiate from the center to be most effective, in the cultivation of virtues, in the cultivation of Dharma, by actualizing realization on the stages of path after full enlightenment. And of course, whatever activities that you perform, reach out to numberless sentient beings for their well-being, complete cause for their well-being. Then all the leaders of the center, like directors, SPCs, and volunteers, and all the students, directly or indirectly, relate to the center to, always have a conducive condition for them to serve the Buddha Dharma, serve the gurus, to fulfill their wishes, and serve the sentient being. So when these volunteers, when these students, when these volunteers and the staffs, financially, health, family, everything is intact, then they have more time. They have conducive condition to serve the Dharma. So we dedicate our merit for that purpose. Then we dedicate this collective merit for ourselves, the rest of the others, starting from ourselves, able to cultivate the essence of the meaning of life, which is the cultivation of altruism, bodhicitta and altruistic wisdom, emptiness. And we have the wisdom, we have the mindfulness, we have the courage, we have the time to take every experiences, good or bad, that comes in our way, samsara or the nirvana, samsara or enlightenment experience, everything able to take onto the path of altruism, which is most beneficial for the numberless sentient beings. Jawadi Nyudo Lama Sanje Dubjun and Dowaji Yamale Badi Sala Gobara Janjo Sanjo and Boche Majebanam Kiju Kawani Bame Bayan Kone Kondo Peva, Tony Tawar and Boche Majebanam Kiju Kawani Bame Bayan Kone Kondo Peva. The near Tawar and Boche Majebanam Kiju Kawani Bame Bayan Kone Kondo Peva. Carrera Vekovation on the Pendant de Wamale, Jumen and Cheres and Gato. Shabese de Bado Denju, Toto Shanti Jango Jave, the job of Conzo Dobo, Chozo, element to Batazo, the Jagondo Shade. Pamazim Jetam Jetan and Nijin and Otam Jeta to Wanda Josembakana, but the Dagun Monam to you. Semjene Bajin, Banu, Nella Taju, and Malabata to Juan Member, the Pedan, so on, if we be in the Wapazam Semjera. Samba Jejin Rubeta, she 你们的来称的来，你们供养的来，你这大多的来的，本着顺业大喜。Okay, Tujeche, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you, Tujeche Nang, and please take care.
Thank you very much, Geshe. Appreciate
And
it
see
so
you
much.
soon.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and we hope to see you
Thank
very
you.
soon. And
Thank you. Thank you.
appreciate very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Tucheche.
Good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jonathan, where is your junior Bodhisattva? Where's he?
Which one?
Oh, there's many junior Bodhisattvas? I know the one that I met in Kopan.
Ah, yeah. He's in Melbourne at the moment, but
Okay.
he's studying here in
Okay.
Hobart.
So please send my regard to him, okay?
Ah, okay. I will do, Geshela.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
my regards to everyone, those who are not here today from Hobart and from everywhere, okay? Bye-bye. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you, Geshela. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
So, okay. So thank you so much, everybody. Wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining us. And we didn't get a lot of questions going, but we got a beautiful, beautiful long teaching. So wonderful. So thank you so much. And I hope I see you again soon. We hope that will happen a little bit more regularly with Geshe joining us like that. And yeah. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindy.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable Mansell. So great to see you. Thank you, everybody. See you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Sleep well. Full of inspiration. Good night. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Sweet Dharma dream.
Beautiful. Thank you, Fifi, for joining. So nice to see you. And Caro, thank you so much. I'll see you in Switzerland. Thank you, Lenny. Okay. Good night.